Welcome, guys, to another. Is this episode 19?
We're on. Where's my document? 18.
Well, I thought last time. Didn't I say last time was our 18th podcast?
Yes, last time you said 18, and I'm like, this is 17, and the time before that you asked, is this 17, and I said it's 16.
Or are you just using the notes from the previous podcast?
No, this is 18.
Like it's always going to be 18. So their 18th episode of We Are Those Muckrakers, the shouty radio people, the voice of the resistance that you never knew that you needed.
Keith Olbermann's out, we are in.
Yeah, I really wanted to do a better intro where, like, because I've been listening to a lot of Sean Hannity, and, like, his intro, by the way, fucking sucks. It's like he got part of a royalty-free country song, and then they cut into the part that he paid for when it's like, Sean Hannity, freedom is back in style. And I'm like, that's so fucking stupid.
We're totally stealing that.
Yeah, it's so stupid I want to steal it. And then we cut to that. Then he cuts into that weird part of the country song, and I'm like, you couldn't pay for a whole song or just a better intro?
We still need to pay for an intro to be made, because I think that would be ideal. Like you said the other day, we should just like take random bits of our different episodes and splice them all together. And I suggested that we auto-tune them so it becomes a song. That's why I was linking you the stuff by Jesse Cox the other day, because I'm like, he's not singing this. It's just like fans auto-tuned him so it sounds like it's being sung.
By the way, if you're just tuning in, my name is Peter.
And I'm Pat.
And yeah, we're the Muckrakers. Yeah, we don't have a good intro. We need one. I could probably find a guy and be like, can you give us a cool intro? This is what we're looking for, and see what he comes up with.
Hey. The intro could just be like what we're doing for a while there. You know, we are those muckrakers. We are those lying liberal, Soros paid, etc., etc.
Good. We could just be everything that the right hates. We could just be like, we are those muckrakers. Soros pays us, and we do what he says, and a bunch of. We turn the frogs gay every Saturday.
We're ready to have a cuckamany good time here tonight.
We're ready to be cucks. So this has been an interesting week. We're actually recording early because we're not able to record at our normal time. So by the time this goes out, the world may have ended, which will be exciting.
I mean, it's very possible because something big is about to happen with Jeff Sessions. Like, all the signs are pointing to a huge thing is about to go down. Just we don't know what it is yet because it's probably going to happen on like Thursday or Friday. Sometime after when we would have recorded, right? Or before we would have recorded usually. This week we're recording on Wednesday, so we're going to miss Jeff Sessions getting fired on Thursday.
Well, it's because, like you said, like the New York Times just released this, like, huge, like, the greatest, like, session. They're prepping us. Like, they released Sessions.
Hits.
Yeah, Sessions' greatest hits. So it reads like, last time on Sessions. And then it's just a bunch of stuff that Sessions did.
Right. So, and also they include the fact that Mueller is definitely looking into seeing if Trump was committing a crime every time he tweeted about Sessions, because it does seem like he's trying to intimidate and harass Sessions into quitting and also discredit everything that Sessions has done, with Trump's main argument being, well, if he was going to recuse himself of the Russia investigation, he should have told me that before I hired him. Yeah, but the Russian investigation wasn't going on at that point. None of this was going on. And plus, Trump seems to think that the Attorney General should be his own personal fixer like Michael Cohen, right? That's not what the AG's job is. Now, neither me nor Pete would ever say that Jeff Sessions is a good person by any stretch of the imagination. We're not calling him the Honorable Jeff Sessions like some news outlets did.
Do they call him the Honorable Judge Jeff Sessions?
Yes, it wasn't the New York Times. It was someone, the Independent. I don't remember. It was.
When they refer to Judge Judy, do they refer to her as the Honorable Judge Judy?
Yes, they do.
Oh,
yes,
okay. So they're okay. Then I give them. All right, you're doing it to everybody. I just wanted to make sure that you're giving you're not just on the Sessions train.
But we're not. We're definitely not going to call him the Honorable because we don't believe anything about him's honorable. But we have been consistent on him not being Trump's puppet.
Well, to be
fair, yes, he does some awful things. Best because Trump does awful things, and plus
to be
Sessions
fair,
is an awful person,
look. Sessions just wants to get down to the job of being a racist attorney general. That's all he's trying to do because he's a time traveler from like the 40s, and he's just been dropped in here, and he's like, all right, I guess I'll be a. Wait, hold on, what now? Who can vote? Like, so
He's like, oh my stars!
yeah, he's
Black
so
people can vote. Woo!
it's like
And
he's so
determined
off
to
balance.
shut that down.
He's so off balance all the time. He can't get to his primary duties as Attorney General, which is basically disenfranchising like brown people. That's his, I think, and women and migrants. I think that's his whole. He's like, all right, boys, let's get to business. We're gonna disenfranchise and oppress people. Wait, what's the president doing? Like the president is so
Right, so a lot of people are saying that he's just Trump's bootlicker because he does everything Trump tells him to do. No. He's not doing what Trump tells him to do. Just Trump is extremely racist, and so is Sessions.
Yeah.
And so sometimes they're walking in lockstep.
right.
Step.
It's like
But
sometimes
he is not Trump's puppet.
Yeah, sometimes their desires align, but more often than not, he's just trying to get down to the job of being a racist attorney general. And Trump makes it really hard he makes it hard for regular racists to just be racists.
He does. Like, even Roseanne can't just have her racist little show without losing her job, even though Trump had nothing to do with that. I think it was Ambien, wasn't it? Ambien, like, put a gun to her head and said, do the tweets.
So it's to be a good journalist, or at least to attempt to be, if you haven't been paying attention to the news, Roseanne Barr of the Roseanne show fame, her show was rebooted and everybody loved it because they're like, finally we're going to see some conservative values on TV. And she I want to read the exact tweet, the really dumb racist tweet that she just came out with. And so now ABC has immediately dropped her from their lineup, like her show is done.
And while you're Googling that, I just want to wrap up the Jeff Sessions thing because we didn't actually say what the point we're getting to was. And that's that
I said everything I need to and I stand by it.
New York Times dropping that article, that usually happens right before something really big happens, is the point we were trying to tie it all to. So them releasing that means that something huge is coming up, and Trump started tweeting about it feverishly, so that means he knows something, they know something, but we don't know what that thing is yet, and that'll probably be the subject of next week's podcast. Unless something even bigger happens between now and then.
I made the mistake of going to Roseanne's Twitter, and I don't think I want to find it there because it's just people.
It's deplorable nonsense.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna put a pin in.
I seriously, whenever I first heard about Roseanne's show being canceled, I'm like, I'm gonna come up with a defense of Roseanne. I'm gonna say I'm of two minds about this. I'm gonna stick up for her a little bit, And then I started looking more and more into her, and I was like, oh no, oh my.
It's indefensible. Yeah, it's indefensible.
Not just that initial tweet. That's indefensible. But I was going to try to defend her. But then I learned more about her, and I'm like, oh no, because that's not the only bad thing she's done. That's not even the worst thing she's done. It's just the thing that got her fired. Right?
All right. Okay. So I got her tweets pulled up, and
you found the one?
Oh, I think so. Wait, damn it! No, it's the Ambien. I didn't want the Ambien one. I wanted the actual tweet. God, why is it so hard to find? Because it's a bunch of her apologizing and leaving Twitter.
Yeah, and her apology for doing that tweet is completely empty. But I'll get to that in a second because you're still trying to find the tweet.
Yeah, I want to find the actual tweet where she. Roseanne's actual tweet. Give me the damn tweet, internet. I want it. Oh, well, here's an old one. Susan Rice is a man with big swinging 8 balls.
Yeah, that sounds like Roseanne.
Okay. Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby, VJ.
Yep.
Who was VJ referring to?
VJ is referring to, as I'm very quickly scrolling through my notes.
It was one of Obama's former aides, right?
Yeah, Valerie Jarrett that's Obama's former aide, Valerie Jarrett, is the child of Roseanne called her the child of the Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes. And here's the thing, is that yes, she apologized, but that's not the next thing that happened. The next thing that happened is she defended and doubled down on that tweet and fought people on it on Twitter.
Let's go through. So Roseanne basically calls somebody black an ape, which is as old a racist trope as you can get, right?
Yeah, that's and that's been going on for hundreds of years. Is that racists have been calling African Americans apes to try to say, oh, they're not dignified
They're
like
not
the
even
white
human. That's
man.
the whole That's the racist argument.
Right.
That's why it's so damaging. You're saying that somebody's not even a human being. They're one of the lesser apes.
Right.
Then she blamed on Ambien. So here's one of her tweets. She says, I think Joe Rogan is right about Ambien. Not giving excuses for what I did, tweeted, but I've done weird stuff while on Ambien. Cracked eggs on the wall at 2 a.m., etc. Right, so you
Dude.
cracked eggs on a wall. That makes sense because that's something you would do like sleepwalking, right?
Yes.
Uh, like, it's not the same as like
Do,
talking or like composing a thought and then hitting tweet. Then she says, I'm sorry for my tweet, and I will also defend myself as well as talk to my followers. So go away if you don't like it. I will handle my sadness the way I want to. I'm tired of being attacked and belittled more than other comedians who have said worse. So she's not even sorry what
sorry, what?
Yeah. So she's not even sorry for what she said. She just goes, it's not fair. They're attacking me, and other people have said worse. That doesn't make what you said right.
Yeah, A, that doesn't make what she says right. B, like, my God, I have just going down like a short list of some of the stuff she said. She's God. Okay.
Well, here's the other thing,
Let's
guys.
take a step back.
If
One
she
thing
says-
that pisses me
Go
off
ahead.
is that how she is pro-Trump is her main defense of him is let's just all get along, okay?
Yeah.
Like that's her main defense of Trump is that everyone should be all hand in hand, respecting other humans, etc. But then we get to well, okay, if that's what she says about Trump, what does she say about Hillary Clinton? She has told Hillary Clinton to go kill herself. She's accused Hillary Clinton's daughter Chelsea of being part of a Jewish conspiracy by being married to George Soros' son. She isn't, and she points this out, and Roseanne did the exact same. Ah, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend your delicate sensibilities. This joke was done at a bad time. Oh, by the way, did you know that George Soros is a Nazi? And then she goes on this long spiel about how whenever or back during the Holocaust, Soros sold out a bunch of Jews to get them killed by the concentration guards or something like that. Except, some people responded to that tweet and pointed out, that particular conspiracy theory is wrong because Soros would have been 2 years old when this happened. So a 2-year-old probably didn't sell anyone out to the Nazis.
Yeah.
But that's like what you were saying the other day. You can't really combat their insanity with reason and logic
Yeah,
because
I want
they don't
people-
really care most of the
Yeah,
time. They
so-
just want to. But so basically, she just wants to attack Chelsea because Chelsea's already said it's like, look, I'm not in any way related to Soros, and then she just keeps attacking Soros, and in doing so, continues to attack Chelsea as though Chelsea had not just proven to her that it's like, look, that's not my husband. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, this other tweet. She goes, "Hey guys, don't defend me. It's sweet of you to try, but losing my show is nothing compared to being labeled a racist over one tweet that I regret even more." So this was
It's not just one tweet.
So this is something I wanted to talk about though. So people are just like, "Oh, I know her. She's a good person. She's not racist." Da 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 da. You are what you do. If you do a bunch of racist shit on Twitter, you're fucking racist. Like, that is it. Like, that's, if I go out and murder one person, I only killed one person and I regret it, I'm still a fucking murderer.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, so I pulled up her Twitter and it's great because it's a ton of, like, bunch of people going,
Insane
I don't
conspiracy
think,
theories.
yeah, I don't
if
think
you go
one,
down her timeline.
I don't think that one tweet on a post on her own private site should justify cancellation of her show.
It's not
or
a private site.
Yeah.
What? That's extremely public. That's like standing in front of an amphitheater and going, man, let me tell you about the Mexicans. And then just like, if
Yeah,
they're Trump
it's-
supporters, say cheer.
Well, a lot of these same people, I feel like the same people that want Kaepernick and all the NFL people fired.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of Colin Kaepernick and the NFL people, there's something interesting about Roseanne is that she once butchered the national anthem deliberately. Like, she went out there, she said it very poorly, and at the end of it, she grabbed her crotch and spat. And Trump has done nothing but say,
Wait, well,
"She's
why
a
did
wonderful
she do
person."
that?
She just thought she was making a point or something. She wanted to protest whatever. It's like, this is America. This is what we do in America. How am I not brave? Yeah.
Oh, I got
And
some. Here's
Trump
some.
is all like, tremendous ratings about Roseanne. But whenever a black person peacefully takes a knee to protest police brutality, it's, get him out of here. He's horrible.
Oh, here's a great one. Roseanne says, I am not racist. I never was and I never will be. One stupid joke and a lifetime of fighting for civil rights for all minorities against network studios at the expense of my nervous system family wealth will never be taken from me. What? Now you're a fighter for civil rights? When? What?
I mean, they had a token black granddaughter on Roseanne's rebooted show, so I think she believes that that makes her not racist.
Yeah, this. It's like it's
'Cause
just.
there were, keep in mind, there were zero black cast members during the first 9 seasons of her show. So season 10, she's like using tokenism to try and disprove any racist myths. But yeah.
Yeah, it's anything we can like. And somebody, I've gone through a bunch of these tweets, but like my favorite was somebody goes, "Well, maybe she didn't know she was black. I didn't know that VJ was black. It's an honest mistake. Look, man, you don't."
That
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that reminds me of whenever Trump made fun of the disabled reporter, and one of Trump's defenses of that is that he had never seen the guy, and so someone showed a video of the two of them talking face to face.
Yeah, so it's
But
basically. I'm kind of surprised that Roseanne has even apologized. I'm surprised she didn't double down, like delete the tweet or say it never happened. You know, because
I'm
like
sure she did delete the tweet.
you can't call. Like that's like we said, it's one of the oldest racist tropes in the book. I've never heard a white person called a monkey.
The oh yeah, a lot of people right after this were trying to get Bill Maher fired because he once compared Trump to a big orange ape. They were like, "Oh, what's this double standard? So I think what we need to do is go after the liberal sweetheart Bill Maher."
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Because he called Trump a monkey once.
I don't know how to tell you guys this if you're to our right wing listeners. On the left, we're not even sure how we feel about Bill Maher. So
Yeah, the left responded with the unified, "Oh no, please, not him."
not Bill Maher. Oh no, oh he wasn't ready. Yeah, no.
Yeah, we're kind of lukewarm on him at best.
who is the left's darling of stage and screen they could go after?
Well, I believe because after Bill
Who's
O'Reilly got fired, a lot of people went after Stephen Colbert to try to get him fired because he's kind of like a sweetheart of the left, but I don't think he's as unifying a force as Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah, well, the other thing about Stephen Colbert is he's funny. Bill O'Reilly was just not. That's like I told you. I said, you know how I know that we're on the right side of history? Because all the fucking comedians are on our side,
All the good ones.
Yeah, I should say all the good ones. All the washed up ones like Roseanne Barr, maybe not so much. I am upset, though, that Roseanne Barr has 787,000 followers, and we do not.
Yeah, listeners, like maybe you should like tell a friend and or you should subscribe to our Twitters at those Muckrakers on Twitter, and then like ask 2 friends to subscribe and have them ask 2 friends and so on, and just like pyramid scheme this thing for us.
Dude, I'll take a handful of Ambien and do an AMA. You can do an AMA about anything. We can, yeah. Well, let's talk about race. I had a bunch of Ambien. Let's solve this problem.
That sounds good to me. Oh, speaking of Ambien, after she blamed Ambien, Ambien themselves their CEO took to Twitter to respond with perhaps the funniest tweet of 2018 so far.
We live in a fucking topsy-turvy world where like Ambien's dropping hot fire tweets.
Yep, so here's the tweet. People of all races, religion, and nationalities work at Sanofi every day to improve the lives of people around the world. While all pharmaceutical treatments have side effects, racism is not a known side effect of any Sanofi medication.
Yep. So Ambien clapback was like, hey man, don't blame us. One of our side effects is not racism. Suicidal thoughts? Yeah. Night eating? Sure. Going on incredible journeys and like waking up in the zoo like you're a werewolf? Probably. But not racism, buddy.
Yeah, because, I mean, Ambien is just like alcohol, right? You're not doing stuff you don't want to do anyway once you're super drunk. Your inhibitions have been lowered, and now you don't have that little voice saying, maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah, that's why I said whenever I drink or do drugs, I'm just more me.
Yeah, because you have...
No,
basically, you try to always act like yourself, right? You never try to be anything else.
Well, I think it's because basically I'm Peter Pan.
And you haven't made me immortal yet? What's wrong with you? I want to go to Neverland. I want to fly.
I didn't say I'm the actual Peter Pan. I just act like him.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the thing. It's just like that whole like I'm not a racist, but you're doing racist shit, right? Then you're a racist. I'm
Peter's
sorry.
not a racist. Some of his best friends are Tinkerbell.
It has never occurred to me to insult an African American and compare them to an ape. Like it's never occurred to me because I'm not like a raving racist. I'm sure that there are racist things about me, like there are about everyone. Like,
Especially because, I mean, we are kind of in the whole white male privilege blanket here, so we've probably heard things that we don't realize is racist
oh,
just from
why
other
didn't we
white
name this
males.
podcast the Privilege Blanket? God, see, this is the fourth new great name you've come up with, and we're not using it.
We could be the privilege blanket.
I was told somebody we can still change our name.
Now I have like the Peanuts theme in my head because I'm picturing who is it?
Privilege.
So I'm picturing like Linus with his blanket, I think.
White privilege. Na 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 na.
Now we have our theme song.
Yeah. Let's do a theme song about like us having white privilege. That'll win him over. I can't wait till we're both hated by the left and the right.
Become the white male privilege. Yeah, you know me. Who's down with white male privilege?
We'll become the fucking darling of nobody.
Oh, I nearly forgot. Tom Arnold had a great day while all that was going
on.
Oh,
because he's dated Roseanne since they got a divorce, right?
Yeah. So he's Roseanne's real life ex-husband, and he tweeted right while all this was going down. Ton of respect for Bob Iger. Tough decision with financial consequences. For his company, but right for America. Now don't bug Bob, but maybe someone find out if I'm still banned from all of ABC's networks for calling Roseanne Barr out first on her racist conspiracy tweets.
Is he really banned from all like ABC?
We don't know. There's a whole lot of people like tweeting LOLs and stuff of it.
I'll tell you what's interesting is there's a writer for The Root, which is I believe a social justice publication. I read them. I have them on Facebook regularly. And one of the writers called. She tweeted and said that Ben Carson is a monkey of the porch variety. And this was like 7 months ago, and nobody jumped on it because. Like, no one gives a shit until they want to defend a white woman for being racist, right? Because the writer is black and Ben Carson is black. So these fuckers combed Twitter and went, like, found her tweet from 7 months back and were like, see a double standard, see?
Yeah.
And, like...
But they've been trying to do that with Keith Olbermann today, too.
Who's Keith Olbermann?
The guy that used to lead the Resistance. He used to be like an NFL caster, I think.
Yeah.
Some kind of sports caster. He said he's like freaked out on Twitter and called Trump a fucking Nazi before.
So my problem with this Root article was it was really really interesting, and actually I'll see if I can pull it up while I'm talking about it. But she brings up a point that like the different types of racism, and like I don't know if I 100% agree with it because her thing is that because she is black and oppressed. And he is black and oppressed. She's not enjoying the privilege and leveraging any power over him, so she can call him a porch monkey if she wants to.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Roseanne tweeted that Muslims not a race, so quit saying that I'm racist for talking about Muslims the way I do. And I'm always thinking, yeah, but I mean, not all Republicans are white, but whenever someone says Republican, I'm picturing white people.
Yeah.
When someone says Muslim, she's definitely picturing brown people.
So it's a very interesting take on race, and I can't say she's wrong, because she makes a very very good point. It's just and she's not
talking about Roseanne.
Well, no, her name is Monique Judge, and she's on Twitter as the Journalista.
Okay.
And she had this tweet. She said, Ben Carson is a monkey of the porch variety. And so people just kind of like went after her for the object of defending Roseanne, not because they care that something was said about Ben Carson or that anything. They just want to normalize racism, right?
Right.
But her article is called "For White People Who Pretend Not to Understand What Racism Is or How It Works, Here's a Refresher Course." It's a very interesting article. Like I said, I don't know if I 100% agree with it. I guess we can link it in Twitter. It's a really good read either way.
Yeah. Tweet that out. So if any
It's
of our listeners are interested, go to at those Muckrakers. Be sure to give us a follow while you're there. Tell two friends to follow us and ask them to tell two friends.
it's probably also one of the more nuanced articles I've read that explains why there are certain things that white
Oh, and I,
people. Go ahead.
and I also, if anyone does this, I can guarantee you'll make at least as much money as you would make from the average pyramid scheme,
So she
which is none.
which is none. But she actually, like, her article actually has a really interesting explanation as to why there are things and phrases like and that like white people like can't say that like black people get a pass for. Like it kind of explains that whole
Well, I've
idea.
always prescribed the idea that people that have the most can say the least, and people that have the least can say the most.
Yeah, that's
It's
actually that's actually a really good.
And it also goes back to like the rules in comedy where you always want to punch up, not down.
Right.
Like you don't want to sound like you're shitting on people that have it harder than you.
Right. And so yeah, like, and she does a really great breakdown of like racism too. Like, the journalista or Monique Judge, she's really cool. I'm actually really really glad that I've started reading stuff on the Root because it's really interesting stuff. Like their articles are always like social justice oriented stuff like that, and it's really interesting. So I saw a video, and I'll see if I can link it on our Twitter too. There's a video, and this terrified me, and this is what makes me scared of Trump's America. There was a video on the internet today of this lady in like a fast food restaurant yelling at a group of black people, and she kept yelling, "Get out of my country! Get out of like." I'm like, lady, you realize that like this is just a white country, right? And like the restaurant workers are trying to get her to leave, and she says the most chilling thing I've ever heard at the end of it. She says, "I'm going to kill you when I'm allowed to," and then like leaves.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of where we're going to go eventually, because Trump has yet to realize just how immune to everything he is.
Yeah, and
So
that's
eventually he's going to legalize the purge, but only for like minorities, so white people can still like call the police if someone comes after them.
yeah. I think it'll just be called like Throwback Thursday, or like well,
It's time for Flashback Friday. Okay?
yeah. So this week's this year's holiday theme is the 1900s. So go out and kill someone, preferably someone not white or a sympathizer. Yeah, and that's what we talked about too. Is like I hope he doesn't listen to our podcast because it'll give him ideas. But he's pretty unstoppable right now. He's in a good spot.
And I mean his supporters. Now there's a few things. One, like I've seen John McCain's daughter going around a lot and talking at places recently, and the way she talks about Trump is, y'all did this to yourselves by not voting your consciousness. She's saying to the people that voted for him, you deserve this, but the people that voted for him that still support him, they don't realize what it is that is happening. A lot of them believe that Trump is actually doing very well. Like Roseanne believes that he's doing very well. She's always tweeting about this long list of stuff that he did, like destroyed ISIS, for instance. And no, he hasn't. ISIS is thriving under Trump. He is the perfect like recruitment tool for them, right?
Yeah.
And everything that she lists is just completely wrong. Like a booming economy, yeah, that's still Obama's economy. And then anything after that is like turbulence from Trump nearly crashing the stock market every time he says he's going to do something insane, like tax the shit out of China, which all those tariffs have been suspended for now, by the way. Like before they actually went into effect, he's like, we'll just postpone these because probably people in the business world, the oligarchs that really run the country, stepped up and were like, sir, could you not do that? Same way the NRA stopped him from doing gun regulations. He said he'd do it, and then they talked to him in a back room for 5 minutes, then he changed his mind. But the point I'm getting to here is that his supporters think he's doing well, so that's another like hurdle we've got to get over. They think, he says dumb stuff on Twitter, but he's still being a great leader. No, that's nah. But that's just one more hurdle we've got to get over before we can really uproot Trump and make sure that he doesn't happen again, is they have to realize how ineffective he has been. But before that can happen, something really, really bad has to happen to this country first, like an actual purge, for instance. They need to see more blood on the streets. Speaking of blood on the streets, we do have a death toll from Puerto Rico now.
Oh, yeah, it's at 5,000, right?
Yeah, it's up to 5,000, and Trump has actually tweeted about how he did such an amazing job with Puerto Rico. I give myself an A+. He said that. He gives himself an A+
Well, that's the
grade
thing
for
with,
how
like,
he handled
Puerto Rico and Flint. We haven't done shit about either one of them.
Right, but Puerto Rico has had twice the death toll of Katrina now. They're still without power in a lot of areas. They were starting to get it back up, and then it blacked out again. They're setting world records for longest power outages. Trump's still their president, and he's still not doing shit to help them. But, I mean, so just add those 5,000 lives to the 1,500 missing children, and we're finally starting to see, like, a pretty sizable body count under this administration.
Yeah, but no one cares because they're brown bodies, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have any That's Cute news for this week?
Oh, we do. Let's see here. Now this isn't the That's Cute news, but this is something else that's happening today, because a lot of stuff is happening today. Kim Kardashian is going to the White House. Now, throughout our time on this podcast, I have put forth a sizable amount of effort to avoid ever talking about the Kardashians, and in my life in general, I try to avoid the Kardashians. But now we have to discuss her because she's going to be the voice of America to discuss prison reform. Some sources say that she's meeting with Trump himself. Others say just Kushner. It could be both, but who knows? It's not like they're going to do shit anyway. Her being the person who's going to negotiate prison reform is just further proof of how incredibly insincere Trump is about getting anything done. Oh, so we have some Kim Jong-un updates.
Dude, that stupid fucking meeting, it's just like, they're off again, they're on again. I don't care about the stupid summit. It's like, they're just trying to do that thing where you go to shake somebody's hand and then run your fucking hand through your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, oh, psych. Yeah, Kim Jong-un has said that he will not disarm the nukes, but he will open a hamburger chain in North Korea as consolidation. Those are his actual words.
Well, I mean, he'd have to if he wants Trump to ever come over because he only eats McDonald's.
Here it is. That's cute news. Oh, this is wonderful. So, you know how, what's his name? Something Ollie North. Ollie North managed to get off scot-free after the whole Iran-Contra thing by just shredding all the evidence.
Yeah.
Well, Michael Cohen tried to do the same thing, and he shredded a shitload of evidence. But there's one difference between him and Fawn Hill. Fawn Hill being the person that shredded Ollie North's notes.
Mm-hmm.
Cohen is really, really lazy, and he never emptied his shredder.
Ooh, so they just pieced him back together?
The FBI has just finished piecing back together everything that was in his shredder.
Ah! This is the one reason that, like, that gives me hope, is that, like, you'll be like, damn, man, like, people are dying in droves and, like, children are being ripped from their parents' like arms, and then you find out like President Skeevy Lawyer shreds documents, and you're like, damn him, and then you go, but he didn't empty his shredder, so they just taped him back together.
Yeah. Now, I haven't said this in months, but I think it's appropriate here that these are not our best and brightest folks.
Can you imagine the FBI guy that just like, they go, here you go, and they just hand him a giant bag of shredder trash, and he's like,
poor guy.
He's like, what is this? And they go, you have to piece all of this shit back together.
I'm sure it's not just like one guy, but that would be a great way to haze the newbie, right?
Yeah.
Hey, newbie, guess what you're doing?
I like to hope
it's boss. No!
I hope it's one guy at like a cubicle desk, and he's like, son of a bitch. Like, people keep walking by, and it blows the pieces around. He's like, stop opening the door.
Yep. So let's see. So Spygate. For one thing, Roseanne is a
Can we not call it Spygate?
Yeah, that's what Trump's like, you're calling it Spygate.
Yeah, I forget that everything that I level at him, he rubber and glues it and throws it back at me.
But Roseanne calls it that, and she says that it's a huge conspiracy between the CIA and British intelligence. That's another thing that she subscribes to, and Trump put out like a lot of tweets about it. So I just wanted to like read through some of these because they are insane.
Yeah. Hit us with the tweets.
Let's see. Who's going to give back the young and beautiful lives and others that have been devastated and destroyed by phony Russian collusion? Witch hunt?
Wait.
Journeyed.
What young and innocent lives?
He's talking about people like remember that one doctor that they called Dr. Feelgood that had to quit?
I thought you were
He's
going to
talking
talk
about that.
I thought you were going to say he was talking about like Cohen.
Yeah, probably his too. But they journeyed down to Washington, D.C. with stars in their eyes and wanting to help our nation. They went back home in tatters. Why didn't the 13 angry Democrats investigate the campaign of crooked Hillary Clinton?
Because
Many
she didn't
crimes,
fucking win, you idiot! It doesn't
Much-
matter!
Much collusion with Russia. Why didn't the FBI take the server from the DNC? Rigged investigation. When will the 13 angry Democrats and those that work for President O reveal their disqualifying conflicts of interest? It's been a long time now. Will they be indelibly written into the report, along with the fact that the only collusion is with the Dems, just as FBI and Russia, with spies or informants, as the Democrats like to call them, because it sounds less sinister, but it's not.
Bigly.
All over my campaign, even from a very early date. Why didn't the crooked highest levels of the FBI or Justice contact me to tell me of the phony Russian problem?
Dude, I don't even know where to fucking like start. It's just all the same stupid like I'm rubber and you're glue, okay? Whatever you say, bounces off me and sticks to you, okay? And I'm like, oh my god.
Really
Why does that
It's
work
like,
for
I
people?
didn't collude, the Democrats did. They colluded. Nah, not me. No. Okay, Bigley. And also,
They colluded to lose, you fucking idiot! Like, that doesn't make sense. You can't use
colluded,
this
they
if
lost.
you've won.
Right, and he's saying that if he was committing crimes, why didn't the FBI let him know that he was committing crimes? That's
Yeah.
another one of his arguments.
Yeah, well, when I got pulled over today by the police and given a $138 ticket for talking on my cell phone while driving, why didn't they warn me? Sad. Maybe they were on their phones too. Why don't we investigate the police?
It's actually the crooked police officers.
You know what I was? There I was, driving in my car with stars in my eyes, and I made it home in tatters. Sad.
Why didn't the police let me know
Yeah,
that I
I
was
was
committing a crime?
I
so
was
that I
real
could
mad
stop?
about that, and I was like, why are they targeting me like I'm Pablo fucking Escobar? And I'm like, well, I was breaking the law, and I can't really be mad. I just was mad in the moment, but ultimately it was my own fault.
Yeah, he's doing the same thing with with what else?
With everything.
Let's just jump to his Roseanne tweet because of course he finally tweeted about that.
I hope
And
that he
was
uses.
right-
I hope he uses
that
that
was
same
right after,
tactic in the bedroom whenever he can't get it up with Milani, and he's like, you know what? Okay, I don't have erectile dysfunction. You do, and it's really sad.
She's missing.
Okay? What?
Did you know that she's missing right now? No one can find her. No one's been able to find Melania for days.
Oh my god.
Because you know that for like 6 days she was in the hospital
Yeah.
getting what Trump called like minor or no, other people said it was minor, unimportant kidney surgery or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was like major fucking surgery, which they tried to downplay as like a routine checkup.
Wouldn't it be really weird if
And-
she was dead and he just hid it for like a week?
I think she might be. Like, no one can find her anymore. Apparently, she came home and he called her by the wrong name when she came home. He called her, like, Melanie. Melanie's finally home. So he doesn't even know his wife's name, but now she's somewhere? Nobody knows where she is.
That's really cool. Why didn't we lead with this, damn it? Why didn't we open with, today in the news, the first lady is missing. Have you seen her?
I was actually going to lead with Sarah Huckabee Sanders. the new
Oh,
thing I
is she
just
missing
found.
too? Because I would love if she went missing.
No, but she just today before this podcast, during what do you call it, like a briefing thing or whatever, she's talking to reporters, and one of the reporters had like a little kid, like a 6 or 7-year-old, ask her a question, and he had like a little suit on, and it was adorable. But his question was, what can... excuse me, Sarah Huckabee Sanders? What is your administration doing to ensure that I won't get thought and that my friends won't get thought when I go to school? Because he's very scared he's going to get shot, so he's asking, what's this administration doing?
Right.
And when she answers him, you can hear that she's about to cry. Like, there's zero tears on her face, right? Her face is stone as usual, but in her voice, she's cracking up. Like, she can barely get the words out to say that we're doing everything we can.
She fucking, oh my god.
She knows that she's about to lie to a kid while all of his friends are just getting shot all around him.
So
but she has to lie.
So her humanity finally like showed through her giant bovine face.
I really do think that that's what happened.
Well, here's my whole thing, and I've always maintained this about Spicy and Huckabee Sanders. I don't dislike them because they lie. That's their job. I dislike the administration, and I dislike them as an extension of the administration. But honestly, I don't hate Sarah Huckabee Sanders any more than I hate Spicy for lying to me. That's the job. Your whole job is to go out there and to push the president's agenda and basically toe the line he wants you to toe. That's the whole job.
Yeah, if they're not going to do it, someone else would do it.
Yeah,
so...
and the thing is, like, you shouldn't do it, but like, the only way I would have taken that job if I wouldn't take a job unless I 100% believed in the president's vision. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's not saying that what they're doing is right. I hate the wizard behind the curtain, not the fake voice. You know?
Right. So they're just the microphone. Trump's like behind the curtain saying,
"Yeah,
it's actually Hillary Clinton behind the curtain. Why isn't anyone investigating her?"
Yeah, like, well, that would be like, it'd be like if you're like, I hate this microphone. It just tells lies. And I said, no. The microphone is doing what it's supposed to do. It's amplifying your voice. It's the person speaking. Yeah. But you also, like we talk a lot of shit on the show. We got to forget that, like I do believe that Huckabee Sanders, to a lesser extent, her father and Spicy, they're all human beings with feelings, and like it would be nice for them to somehow come out of their bubble and like be like, what are we doing? Like, why are we defending something that's clearly against our interests?
They might feel like they're in too deep. They might feel like it'll all work out in the end. I know that. I
don't know. It's like
Huckabee,
if you became a despotic president, I would turn the fuck against you in a heartbeat, man.
Maybe, but like that's you. Again, you also said that you wouldn't work for someone unless you really believed in their vision. You wouldn't do this job representing them unless you believed in their vision. So, you have standards. Other people might have different standards.
But at the same time, if that same person that I just took the high horse on, if they came to me and they go, okay, look, I've got like 4 suitcases full of Russian rubles. It's worth like $4 million. All you have to do is stand in front of a microphone and talk some shit. You'll be replacing Sarah Huckabee Sanders. But I'd be like, I'm fucking in. And then under my breath, I'd be like, I'm going to podcast the shit out of this.
So we would just keep telling the truth on the podcast.
I'd be on the mic and I'd be like, you know what? The president is doing the best he can. And then I'd be on the podcast going, the president is not doing the best he can. Dude, that guy is crazy. I spent an hour with him in a room. Holy shit.
Listen here, reporters, fake CNN, failing New York Times. I'm here today to tell you that nobody is harder on the NRA than Trump. The NRA is shaking in their boots. They can't believe what a stern figure he is. Your kids will never get shot again.
Just the other day, the NRA called the president and they told him they couldn't believe how unbelievably thin and handsome he was.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Yeah, I could do that job, but I would do it and I would be fired, I guess, very quickly because I would do it completely sarcastically and completely tongue in cheek. You know what I mean? I would not if I was doing that job, I would know that I'm Satan's minion. I don't give a fuck about anything. I'm not even gonna brush my teeth if I don't feel like it. Fuck it, right?
Yeah. Speaking of not giving a shit about anything, did you know that Trump Jr. got busted for another Trump Tower meeting?
Wait. Is this the third one?
No, that's the second one. We haven't discussed it on the air,
I thought we had talked about. Yeah. So he colluded with the Russians, and then he also colluded with the Saudis.
So we know that Donald Trump Jr. had a meeting with the Russians because he published all the emails himself. Because he is dumb enough to believe his father's lies when his father says they just make things up. They take my stuff my words out of context. What I'm doing's not wrong. What you're doing's not wrong. He's like, okay, father. And so he just published all the emails online. So that way the line media, the line MSM, wouldn't just be able to take his emails and just show like snippets of them, right?
Yeah.
But now that they're all out, people are able to look at it and they're like, oh, yeah, all of this is awful. All of this is treasonous as fuck. If his dad wasn't president, he would be doing like 20 life sentences if after being hung.
That's my favorite part is like fucking like
Because
how many more
because he
meetings has
went
he had?
we don't know. There could be way more than this. But so the original Russian meeting was, well, okay, we've discussed that before. So let's get on to the new meeting. He did I not write down all the details?
All
I
I
didn't,
know
but
is it's
I know.
got. Can we? Why don't we just go ahead and remove the United Nations to Trump Tower?
That's why I don't have any of the details written down. This is a different thing about Trump Jr. This is about how he was busted by Spain on a wiretap talking to Alexander Torshin, who has ties to Putin, Russian Central Bank, and the NRA.
Oh, perfect. All the
Okay,
things that we hate
but
here at those muckrakers.
yep. So the other tower thing, yeah, he was set up to. Anyway, we discussed enough of it.
Anyway, point
We
being,
can
they
move
should
on.
just move the United Nations to Trump Tower. That
There-
way he can just meet with all these people at one time.
Yeah, but he did meet with the Saudis also in a separate illegal, well, treasonous meeting, but
Yeah.
or conspiracy against the United
I
States,
guess
which is its peacetime
everybody
equivalent.
was like, hey, we've got some money to help you win this election. And they're like, come on in. Sit down.
Come on in, let's commence the jiggling.
Can we? Let me see. We're gonna have to schedule you between the Russians and the Saudis. Let's see. We can go ahead and bump. Let's go ahead and bump
Inform-
China back a little bit. Yeah. We can
Oh,
get you in
speaking
there.
of China, 16 different Ivanka trademarks have just been cleared in China. Everything that she pushes over there immediately goes through because she represents Trump in China. So they're just using that to do whatever business they want over there.
Yeah, I'm telling you because we've elected the fucking Manchurian candidate. Like all of this stuff. That's what makes me mad. Is like
Some people asked her about that in an interview or a roundtable news briefing, and she got up and huffed and left the room, like as though they had done something.
I've said it before. I said it again. Her and Kushner make me so angry. I told you the other day. Like I want to see them publicly flogged. That's how much. That's how angry they make me. That comment they made where she said that like Trump gets to be president, and then when Trump's done being president, she'll get to be president, and then after she's president, it'll be Kushner's turn. And I'm like, over my dead fucking body. That's not how it works.
And Trump already wants to be president for life, so it's going to be, for the rest of Trump's life, and then his daughter just sort of gets to step in like it's from king to queen, and then after she passes, it'll be like Kushner or maybe like his son, but maybe his son would be like his son's uncle will try to kill him, and so Kushner's son has to pretend like he's insane, and then Rosencrantz and Guildenstern will come in to save him, and we'll just have that whole thing play out.
Yeah.
My point is that America's gonna become the next Hamlet.
Yeah, make America Trump again. Yeah, so that's everything I had to cover. What else you got on your that's cute news list? What do you got for us? Because I'm out. I'm angry. I'm hollowed out. I want to go back to the thing. One thing that made me happy today: putting together my brand new bookshelf headboard for my bed.
Nice. Well, Trump predictably made the Roseanne thing all about himself.
Oh
when he
yeah.
tweeted
Let's talk about that. So, yeah.
ABC never apologized for the mean things they said about me. Sad. To paraphrase.
Yeah.
He's
All right. Why would they? No one apologized about anything. What are you even talking about?
yeah.
Trump, Jesus Christ. Apparently, while we were talking about this, he committed another crime, and that some stuff is leaked from the NFL with like Trump actually speaking to the heads of the NFL about not letting the anthem thing die because it was good for his campaign or good for his ratings.
Right.
That's another he's violating that whole political that law where you're not supposed to influence private business as president using the powers of the president.
Yeah. Speaking of that, though, remember the Dutch bank that had connections to Trump and some other things, but
Yes.
it's been a laundering money for him at any rate. Well, they recently had to fire a CEO and cut over 7,000 jobs as they reduced their presence in the US and Asia because it turns out laundering money isn't quite as profitable when you get caught doing it and fined repeatedly.
Mm.
So, like we've been saying, while Trump is invincible, just like Roseanne assumed that she was invincible as he was, as it turns out, only Trump is above the law.
Yeah. And
Everyone
what happens
else
is
around
because
him is being brought to
and
heel.
what happens, I think the effect is because Trump is so untouchable and he's shitting all over the law. I think that it's going harder on everyone else. Like they're catching all the flack because we can't do anything with him right now.
Could be.
I mean, I think that's
So,
why not only did Roseanne lose her show, but they pulled her reruns off of all the TV networks. So like you can't even, she's not even get residuals from the reruns playing. They pulled everything.
I mean, uh, well, like, because after that tweet first went out and she started defending the tweet, then Wanda Sykes said, fuck this, and she quit. That's when Roseanne realized, oh, I might have gone too far. And then she starts apologizing with her crocodile tears. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
She doesn't think she went too far. Like I said, it's the exact same insincere apology she gave to Chelsea Clinton before doubling down on her anti-Semitic bants. And then that's whenever they fired her, and because there was a tremendous backlash to that tweet started to surface. But
That's
yeah,
why I told her you like she's a pocketbook racist. She's racist until she goes, oh no, my pocketbook hurts. I apologize. Be a lot more believable if you'd come to it on your own instead of having to suffer financial penalties. You fucking asshole.
yep. So that's Oh, one more thing, one last thing. Voter fraud. So remember those millions of illegal voters that Trump hasn't talked about in a long time?
Oh yeah, what's going on with them?
Because he's so mad that he lost the popular vote that by 3 to 5 million that he insisted that it was 3 to 5 million illegal Mexicans.
Mm-hmm.
And some states were stupid enough to believe Trump. Because here's the thing about Trump: he lies the way most people breathe, fucking constantly. So, but some people believe him because well, he's the president, so we have to humor him. So they just do really expensive shit like New Hampshire is now wrapping up a pretty exhaustive investigation into their state's results, and to a surprise, and in a surprise to nobody, they found zero evidence of widespread voter fraud. The worst they found was 164 unverified voters who they're reviewing, and in 5 of those 164 cases, they found wrongful voting. Now, what were those 5, you might ask? One was an elderly woman who mailed in her husband's absentee ballot a few days after he had died, which was right before the election. A college student who was incorrectly told by an elected official to register to vote in the wrong county. A guy who voted in 2 different towns and who had done this before and got a stiffer fine and was warned that criminal prosecution would happen next time. And 2 votes in a primary election by folks who were not residents there. So, at most, they've confirmed 3 illicit votes out of 694,316 for a whopping 0.00004% rate of illegal voting in a state or in the state's last election.
Yeah, well, I mean, like that's the whole thing, and you nailed it right. The Russians are the whole thing today is like it's not about adding new votes. It's about
Right.
suppressing or purging people from the voting rolls so that it
Exactly.
looks less suspicious. You know?
Yep, because adding people, they catch that shit, but subtracting people, like how have they spent that much time going through? It's like all they're doing is looking at the votes that counted. They're not going through all the votes that didn't count and re-examining each of those cases, relitigating each of those cases to see, oh well, should this have counted? Because that's what the Russians did, is they were just ticking off votes.
Yeah.
They were removing them.
It's a fucking. Anyway, so we'll leave it. I guess we'll leave it here in that like Trump is invincible. It's like the end of the Empire Strikes Back, and the blue wave that's supposed to come save us all may not happen if the Russians just continue to hack our elections.
Yep. So, have anything to pitch this week? Pete?
No, if you're part of the NYPD, please stop pulling me over and go after real criminals. I've suffered enough.
The Foot Clan is still out there. NYPD, do
I
your
saw
job.
like 3 people driving, just speeding down the breakdown lane because they didn't want to wait in traffic. They didn't get pulled over.
Yep, the police are after you. They're after you and your phone. Uh, well, with me, I have there's definitely going to be new Mrs. Board episodes. I've been slacking on that, but I have a slew of ideas bouncing around in the back of my
Oh yeah,
head.
we got to get those. We got to get those up. Yeah, we were supposed to do stuff with that. We never did.
Yeah, but in the meantime, there'll at least be new episodes of that at youtube.com/thriftingtonpost. And yeah, I guess that's everything I want to advertise this week.
Sad.
Manchurian Candidate.
Perfect.